Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's market commentary. This is actually my second attempt at this. It's 5 to 11. The first attempt was already 14 minutes in, so I'm going to go through where I am with the trades. I've been in some trades, so that we can kick this off, and you're not having to sit through 14 minutes. And I still think we've got quite a way to go. Firstly, the webinar last night went down really well. If you haven't seen it, go to easytrader.com, click on the webinar tab, and then you can then watch it by clicking here, and you can watch the webinar. It went down very well last night, and I'm pleased. We had a lot of feedback on that. I'm about to put this trade in though, so let's just get this sorted out. Hold on a second. Euro yen, yes, 50, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll tell you what I'm up to with this trade. So I want to get some positions in with this euro yen, which is a really weird one because it's going counter pretty much everything, but we've really got very little momentum here, so that's why I'm looking at getting this a trade off on this euro yen, and if I can, so we'll just see if it's going to come up to the upper band. Now I've done that, it's not. So let's bring up this email. I mean, we've had a lot through. Sam's just forwarded this on to me. I've had to take the guy's email address off. Want to drop you a line. Thanks for doing this. Yada yada yada. Thanks again for being out there. It's really nice to get those sort of emails come through. It makes you feel like you're doing a worthwhile job sometimes, because we don't always know if people don't feed back and say that they enjoy the work we do. We don't always know if people are enjoying it, so to speak. So anyway, I mean, a couple of okay, that's right. Account first of all, then, whilst I'm waiting on this. I was in. Ignore this euro dollar. That was a trade from yesterday. Yesterday evening, after done the webinar, I put a trade in at, as you can see, it short in at 135.25. Got stopped out for 10 pips during the night. If you have a look at the charts, you can see that it went up during the early hours, about 3 a.m. I think. But it was only a tiny little one. I just thought I'd give it a go. Risk reward looked good at the time. If it was going to roll over, then it would have been a good risk reward trade. Then I've got into a long on the dollar yen this morning. I had two half lots, so one lot total, and I got nicked out. I was in at 32, stopped. Look, I had a 5 pip stop. It was only to play it up to the 8 a.m. pivot. Got stopped out, nicked at 27, and then it came straight back up. So while I was down the gym, I put one more in for 100,000 because I was doing it off my phone, and I've put one lot in, and that's obviously on its way at the moment. But I'm looking at this euro yen. Here it is, to short it. So okay, I'm going to start to edge in. I don't know how accurate I'm going to be with regards. It could go and make another high yet, but I want to put a couple in. And I'm going to give it like maybe a 15 to 20 pip stop. Because we've got momentum divergences up here on this euro yen, and I don't normally go counter trend, so to speak, but I've let it come into the bands, come back up to the outer band or the upper band again. I'm just going to see now, and it could come up and just do another little divergence up here, so we'll see. So I've put one lot in for now, and then I'll look to add to that position if I start getting more confirmation, so to speak. And the confirmation will come that we start to either we go up higher again, a little bit higher, and then come back in the bands, then I'll add, or if we come back down and then start looking like we're going to roll, then I'll add to that position as well. So I also need to keep my eye on this dollar yen. So at 37 at the moment. I've got that target at 43. Remember, oh, I say 43. Remember, but the morning pivot is at 43. So I've got a limit order in on that one anyway, so I don't have to worry about that too much. And what I was looking at, even with the dollar yen this morning, was I was looking for us to come back up. I want to short it, ironically, even though I'm long and been long this morning. I want to short it. I want the prices to come up to these sort of highs here, maybe nick this high out and then roll over. That's the plan on that one. So we'll see if that plan's actually going to work out or not. What I'm actually going to do in the meantime, I'm going to move my stop up really tight down to about 31 now. So let's just bring the account across and move it up tight. Okay, so my entry was at 29. Oh, okay, so I can't lose on that, but then I'll still be down overall from those small positions. But I'm just trying to manage it all at the moment. So I'm in that one. I'm in the euro yen. I haven't put stops in against that yet, so I must do that in a second. But hopefully this dollar yen's going to carry on up. Now if the dollar yen goes up, then the euro yen may well go up with it, then hence why I'm still going to, yeah, it looks like it may do. Let's have a look. Very meek momentum. I'm just not trusting this market at the moment, this euro yen, should I say. I think it's had a great move, and I think that it may just make another little high and then roll. So we'll see about that. But I've got to obviously still put my risk stuff in, so we shall see about that. I've got to keep my eye on the dollar yen as well. For now, let's I need to put the stops in against that. Let's press pause for a second. Right, dollar yen I'm going to close out of. Actually, I've just seen it's just hit a load of resistance just up here again. It's failing, I think, at this point. Now I've got orders up at a higher level to short, but I don't know if it's actually going to get there, so I'm just going to close out of this one because it's too much for my little brain to manage. So I've just effectively netted out a break even here on the dollar yen. So if we can see that properly, then you can see that I've closed square on dollar yen. Obviously now I'm in this short on the euro yen, which I've got to get my stops in, so I'm just going to have a look and where I'm going to put the stops. And like I said, I wanted to be short on the dollar yen all morning. I was just waiting for it to come back up, maybe hit that 8 a.m. pivot and then roll over. So I'm still going to leave my orders in up there for now. I've got orders in around about 46, I think, against this high, 46 and 48. But just in case that one just rolls over, then well, at least I've got exposure now through the euro yen. So well, there we go. That's potentially diverging up there. So but I've only got one lot in on that at the moment. So I've got some work to do if I'm going to make any money here today. So firstly, I've got to put a stop in. So on the euro yen, I was in at. Let's have a look. I think I'm going to be wanting to put, like I said, I want to put a stop in at around about, let's shut that one down for now because that's not operational, so to speak. So I want to put my entries are about 53, so I want to put my stops up at around about 73. I'm going to give it a little bit of slack, so let's just put those in. I'll press pause while I'm doing it, put them in. Okay, so I've got the stops in place now, 72, which means I'd get stopped out at 73. So really it's now a case of keeping my eye on this, and like I said, I'm just not believing with the way the momentum is. The first question I always say to myself is, where's the momentum? And if I've got price action going in one direction and momentum not going in that direction, then it just gives me a bit of a warning. So the warning's there for this euro yen. Where do I think that the price of the euro yen may come down to, though? Because obviously that's just as important. Where would my targets be? And if we come out to the 4-hour chart, we can see I can see where my targets are. It's to come into this band down here. So I think we've got the potential. But again, this is a 4-hourly chart. I've got to get this video out to you. At this rate, I may not get this out to you till about 5 p.m. Depends on whether it just carries on going higher. Obviously, the price action itself is like, whoa, it wants to go higher, but I have to. It doesn't mean to say that overall it may want to go higher. It doesn't mean to say this may not stop and pause for a day first, and I have to then go with where my momentum is. Now what could change it is that if all of a sudden sometimes the momentum can be lagging, so to speak, and it'll just then gradually carry on going higher, and gradually the momentum will catch up, but that's not usually the case, but it can happen obviously. So we'll see. But at the moment I've having to go with the momentum divergences I've got in the background. We could faff around, go a little bit higher. I could still get stopped out and then it could still roll over. That is always a risk as well. That's the problem with going counter trend, is that it's very difficult to ascertain where to place your stop. But we'll just have to see. Now what I would look to do is if we start to turn a little bit here like we're doing, then obviously I'm going to be looking to try and build the position. But again, it's difficult to build a position when you've got moving averages and the likes coming up to meet price. So that makes it difficult as well. But we'll see what we can do. I'll press pause for now. We'll come back. Just back. It's just come up to 11:30. Yeah, it's running down a little bit here. Obviously, this trade I'm in on this euro yen looks like I did the right thing coming out the dollar yen, because that's that's come down, and I think I would have been stopped. Yes, so that was the right thing there. It's a shame it didn't. I was really looking for that dollar yen early this morning to come all the way back up, do a double top, or maybe even make a partial new high there above this high. Would have been a perfect setup for a short. But I've got to take what I can. I'm in this euro yen, sorry, and I've now got to just see how I'm going to manage it. we've got a market here. Let's just go through this on a 15-minute chart first. Everything's pointing up. Moving averages are pointing up. 30-minute moving averages are pointing up. But we've got these, like I say, these divergences in the background, and a lack of momentum, no positive momentum. So what I'm actually going to be looking for as a downside target I've looked at is this hourly 21. Everything else has been hit, so pretty much. So I know that there's a 15-minute 21. Which has not been hit down here yet, but I'm still looking for us to potentially come up and maybe come back up to these bands on the 15-minute chart, so come all the way back up again yet, which would put us all the way back up in the early 50s. So we'll just have to see about that, and that's when I can then potentially get some more entries in. If I can't get more entries in, then like I said, the hourly 21's down at 130, down in the low 133s. So it's not going to be, I'm not going to be setting the world alight, unfortunately, today. But a tiny trade. But I was counter trend trading with it anyway, so I have to be a little bit careful. And so of my initial entry at least, but certainly I'd look to add if I get the opportunity. I've got to pop out here, so I'm just going to leave this to see how it gets on, and we'll come back to it. Right, I'm just going to take this half profit here. We've just come down to that 15-minute 21. I still think we might get a bit of a bounce coming up here, and that'll enable me to then get back in. So I've just taken half off, so let's quickly show you the account. So that's where we are, 120 whatever quid on that one. It's very small stuff here today, but I'm still going to look to build this, and then we'll see if this overall trade can actually get a bit bigger yet. So just taking half. So I'm just back here. It's now what, 1:45, and still in this trade. I'll show you we're back onto the dollar yen at the moment because it has come back up. Nothing's changed. I think we're just in a choppy day, and I thought I can just trade. I'm just showing you basically how I'm trading the chop today, so to speak. We've got negative momentum, but price comes back up again, and so I'm just looking for us to come and I want it to take out this high, you see. So if the dollar yen can take out this high, whatever that from earlier on, 41 and a half, whatever that is, 41, then I'm going to actually look to short to that, whereas a lot of people will be looking to go long there. Without the momentum, I'm going to look for that to dissipate and roll over and come back down to test this area. If we come back to the euro yen, that's come up as obviously as well, but I've got to wait for that to come up to the double top because we've got the potential for divergences setting up there. So remember, I took the half off at the right level. It went a little bit lower, didn't it? I came out at 34, didn't it? I was on the phone at the time to Kim. Had to quickly try and come out, so I could have got a better exit. But anyway, so with this one, I'm looking for it to come back up into that range where I initiated the trade in the first place. So that's where we're looking for this one, and the dollar yen slightly differently. So we're getting there, but it's going to take time. Okay, right, just back. Looks like I've got to close out of this trade here as, oh God, I'm late to the party. Oh, it's the dollar yen, so it's quickly euro yen even if I can. It's just coming down to the 15-minute 50, so I'm looking to exit that. So I'm just going to, if I can do it in time. I've just been talking to the guys in the trading room, and it's literally just hovering on that 15-minute 50. And because I haven't managed to put enough units in, there's not a lot I'm going to be able to do here. So if as regards to, I'm going to take that profit there, and it's just been so slow today. I'm just going to get it banked and get this video out to you. So I'm just literally just hovering on the trigger here. Looks like it's just a couple of pips lower, about 2 pips lower. See if it's going to do it. There we go, nearly there. Very nearly there. We're just hovering on top of that 15-minute. I'm looking at the 15-minute 50 on top. There we go, 29. That's looking good for it. Okay, I'll have to just take it because I can't for the sake of a pip. Right, okay, so a tiny little profit there today, 100 quid, just over £100. But I'm trading through chop basically on, as you can see. So I think I'll leave it at that. Probably it'll just carry on rolling over now, but that's the benefit when you've got more units in. I was looking for this to come up to that double top, remember, up here. It didn't quite do it, and so I didn't get to put any more units in. But it's a good example here of what I've done today is use the momentum. The momentum was negative on that euro yen. Didn't get caught up in the upside. I wouldn't have minded being in a little bit of that, but it came up to here. We still had negative momentum. It should give you a warning sign. You then, like I did, come back into the bands here, and then and play the short side. And it's the same with the dollar yen as well. Like I said earlier on, I wanted to be short that dollar yen. Would have loved to have got short. It just needed to come up and break this high, and then I would have been looking to short that, but it couldn't do that either. So just using the momentum in a separate in a different way, because if you looked at your hourly charts, normally I would not be interested in trading on the opposite side of that, but today, because of where the momentum was, it was the right thing to do. So hopefully that's been of use to you. If you haven't already seen it, have a watch of the webinar. We've had a lot of feedback through on that, so hopefully that's of use to you over the weekend, and have a great one. We'll be back in touch next week.